is the washer. This is where it all starts. The grain in here. We weigh it all out. It goes in these bins in here. Max of 5 pounds per bin. It takes 4 hours to wash one batch of fleece.
So you have to weigh it when it comes in.
Oh, so that's already been weighed.
Yes. Put it down. And there's long cycles and short cycles depending on what type of fleece you're washing. So you just hit the on button and it runs through the cycle itself. This is the recycler. This recycles 40% of your water. Your last rinse water will go in the recycler to be used as your first wash water over on the next one because it's basically clean water. This is the picker. This is where it comes when it comes off the drying rack. It's very important to weigh it because you have to condition alpaca fleece. There is no oils in it. It's all hypoallergenic, no lanolin. And you're asking it to do a lot of twisting and turning without putting the card on the machine so you know that that's the fleece you're working with. This is the empty picker room. The fleece is blown in here. And then conditioned and let rest. It just picks it apart. You kind of want to feel the fleece as you put it on. Toenails are really detrimental to our machines. If there's any big pieces of vegetation, pull them out. It just makes it easier on down the line. This is actually pretty nice. And this bounces up and down. It lets the dirt and any small debris fall underneath. Now that it's all gone through, turn the machine off, turn the fan off. Coming through the machines and fall onto the floor, the fan picks it up in the air and lets it gently fall.
Okay.
And that is 5.5 pounds of fleece.
Wow.
So then I'm going to condition it. And because I'm going to put 5.5 pounds, I'm going to put 5.5 ounces on here. So I spray a good layer over the top. Lift it. Then, one, you mix your fleece. And two, when you go to spray your next layer, now you just fluff it up from pile and you let it rest and dry. This is the dehairer. After it comes out of the picker room, it comes on the dehairer, takes all your short fibers, guard hair, little pieces of vegetation, picks them all out. A lot of mills don't have this machine because it's extremely expensive, but it's also extremely important to get clean, consistent print twice.
Perfect.
The best of the best comes out the first time because you have it at a pretty high speed as far as the rollers go. The belt only runs at 1 speed. And then we take the waste from the bottom, turn the speed down, and run it through a second time to get the second best. Blend it both together, and then you have your first and your second best. Clean at the other end.
Yeah.
Beautiful fiber. This is the carder. This takes all the fibers and aligns them all going the same direction on each drum. Keeps everything going the same direction to make rovings at the end. And you have to keep the same amount of fiber from blue line to blue line to keep consistent rovings coming out the other end. Inconsistent rovings makes inconsistent yarn. So everything has to be measured. And you have to weigh every time because different fiber has different densities. So what looks like 3 ounces on one may not be 3 ounces on another. Now, because I'm in between a line, we're going to run 2/3 of it because the bottom line has already gone through before we start our actual 3 ounces. And what we'll do is when this comes through the machine, we'll pull it off, put it back over here to run it so that it is around each drum. Comes out the other end. Rovings. It's here. Now you set it by yards. Because I have more than 5 pounds, I do 100 yards in each barrel. And then when I get down to the last 6-7 ounces, I'll measure it out so that it comes out evenly in every barrel. I set the counter for 100 yards, change the barrel out. Here's the barrel that has the stuff in it that has to go through again. And then this is the barrel that starts again. When it gets to 100 yards, it is honest, I need to change barrels again. You have to have the consistency of 2 barrels to go to the draw frame, and they have to be the same amount or you're going to have some left over.
So we got 100 yards in this barrel?
Yes, 100 yards is in this barrel. So we break it off. And reset the machine. And we'll do another 100 yards.
Okay.
This is the draw frame. The draw frame takes and stretches 2 of your rovings. It stretches it 2.6 times the first time and 2.5 times the second time. If you have any fibers that didn't get aligned or twisted or a couple of fat spots that got through, this machine will stretch it and fix it and make it consistent.
Okay.
So you thread, you always leave a little bit on, the same as the carter, something to attach to. So you set your machine, and thread it through, and you want to take the old off so you don't mix it with the new. Off, squeeze that, and you let it through.
Okay, so here are the 2 barrels, and it's going up. It's being combined into one. Running through, coming out.
You'll have 2 barrels at 130 yards, which will go back through. And because this customer wants a 2-ply heavy sport weight, when we get the 2 barrels on the other end at 130 yards, we have to figure out how many barrels we need based on how many plies we need. So because she wants 2-ply, we're going to do 4 barrels at the other end, which will be 82 yards in each barrel, because you have to have the same amount of barrels and the same amount of space in each barrel to go. We ran our 2 at 130 yards apiece, so now we're going to run them again. And the first time they ran through at 2.6 stretch times, this time they're going to run through at 2.5. And we're going to do 4 barrels because she wants 2-ply. So you have to keep the even amount of barrels. All I'm doing is attaching the end. These are larger barrels. These hold up to 130 or 100 yards and more. And then you have the smaller barrels which fit across the spinner nice because they're smaller. We're going to take 130 yards, multiply it by 2.5, divide it by 4, which gives you about 82 yards apiece. We're going to put 82 yards in each barrel. You start it. Now this is coming through until you get to the new.
Oh, I see.
Has not been stretched properly. Here's the new. Because we still have some on the carter, we'll just take it back to the carter and add it to the last batch so the customer doesn't lose any. And you run 4 of those barrels and then you take it to the spinner.